I'm gonna be honest. I do not know how to respond. Because a part of me really wants to respond sarcastically, but I think I'm going to respond just straight up. I didn't vibe with Jibaro or Yibaro. We'll table the name connotation for a later time. And the reason why I did not vibe with it is because I never connected with the human side of the episode. What I mean by that is when I sit down and I watch an episode, I can connect with the characters that are on screen. I can understand their emotions, what's going through their heads. I can predict what their next move is going to be. I can see who's probably going to go over the deep end, who's playing 5D chess, who's basically just a pawn. I can figure it out and weave paths for everyone. When I watch this episode, I can weave that path for the siren because when she first shows up, she's watching the men on the shoreline and she's curious. It switches over to the male lead and I couldn't connect with him. It reverts back to the siren and she comes out of the water, and to me, from what I saw, it doesn't seem as though she's using her abilities to essentially kill them. It seemed like she was trying to speak with them, but the way in which her powers work, it drives them to madness and it drives them to kill themselves. Still focusing on the siren, she becomes curious when she sees the one male lead not be affected by her voice, and her curiosity makes her follow him out of the water and onto the shore when he's sleeping. And she smells him and inspects him, and she lays down next to him and leaves herself vulnerable next to him, and she forms a connection with him. But she's a supernatural entity. She's trying to lure him and entice him, and that luring and enticing, which would work on a normal human, isn't working on him because the character is deaf. When they're both standing on the side of the waterfall and they finally come together and they connect, and she's the aggressive one, she's the one kissing him because she's infatuated with him, and he's returning it and he's being hurt because of the gold and the beads. I'm still connecting with her. I haven't connected with the male character at all. I haven't connected with his journey, his reasoning, anything along those lines. The one time I finally do connect with him is when he responds in essentially a dark human way, which is he violates her. And what I mean by violating her is that he betrays her trust and her sense of security. She'd let down her guard around him, and he betrays her. I think, was it a headbutt? I think it was a headbutt. He knocks her out, and he rips off all of the gold, and he strips her naked. And he takes all the gold and he puts it in the scarf. And that was the very first time when I was like, okay, that's the very first human emotion that I was able to connect with this guy, which is greed. It's like you saw this extremely beautiful thing that you didn't understand, and as a human would, you saw the monetary value of it, and you violated her and probably killed her and threw her into the river. And I loved the idea that he's having these nightmares, and this was me vibing a little bit with the male character, but still not vibing with him on like a really deep level, where he's having these nightmares about basically what he's done. And she washes up back at the main lake, and she wakes up, and I'm still vibing with her way more than I am the main male character, because she wakes up and she looks down, and the necklaces are gone, the loops and the bands are gone, all the gold is gone. She's stripped down. She's no longer golden. She's gray, and she has black oil and soot all on top of her. She's been defiled, and she screams out in that pain. But here's the thing, I still didn't connect with the male lead. Like, he just didn't draw me in to understand what he was thinking. And I see a lot of people who've watched the episode have said that they were able to connect with him because it's basically he's going through these different emotions of fear and anxiety and confusion, and then greed takes over, and then he's experiencing these new sounds of the world around him, and basically him violating her is what essentially gives him, more or less like a curse, gives him the ability to hear again. And that ends up being his downfall, where he's basically drawn in and killed the exact same way that all of the other men in his unit were drawn in and killed once she starts screaming because she sees the way in which her body looks. Like I said before, I can sit down and I can appreciate art. I can appreciate emotion being conveyed when there's no lines of dialogue in any way, shape, or form. Because a lot of the emotion that I was able to read was on the siren. I just never connected with the human side. And because I never connected with half of the person that was going to basically take up half of this episode, it pulled me out of the episode and made me not enjoy it as much as the rest of you did. Because apparently some of you are fucking art and movie aficionados, which some of you actually are, because there are a couple people in the comment section from the review video that had some really great takes on what they felt and what they saw when they were watching the episode. It wasn't, when I asked them what's going on, it's not me being snarky, it's me actually interested in seeing what your response is because what you saw, and that's dope as fuck. But what people seem to be forgetting is that everyone's coming to the comment section saying it's art. I agree. Like I said, there are some artistic choices I do not like. I think the siren is beautifully done. I did not like the stylistic choice for the human characters, and I see someone said that the stylistic choice where there's like this weird film or opaqueness to when the humans are essentially on screen has to do with the male character being deaf and it conveying that he kind of sees the world in like this really, really warped kind of way. That's dope. Still didn't help me connect with him. At the end of the day, I didn't connect with that side of the episode. I connected with the siren. I understood the siren's struggle. I saw where she was coming from. I understood her pain. I just never connected with the main male lead. And for that, it pulled me out of the episode. I didn't enjoy it as much as everyone else. It's not a demerit against it. All the episodes this season have been absolutely fucking fantastic. It just basically comes down to the point I didn't enjoy it as much as everybody else did. And that's 100% fine. Because you go through life and you probably enjoy certain foods and certain things that some people don't enjoy the way in which you do it. Or you do certain things that you enjoy doing it that way, but other people do it the complete opposite way, and you think that that's alien and foreign and weird. That's okay. Because you're human. No two people are, I mean, unless you're a twin. But even twins like different things. But for the most part, no two people's likes are 100% the same. It's our differences in the way in which we look at things that make us dope as fuck. So, please, cool your tits. It's not that serious. I didn't like one episode as much as I liked the other ones. It was still a really good episode. I would put it above a lot of the episodes from Volume 2. Settle down. It's not that serious. You don't need to get as mad or as riled up. It is okay. And I don't know if I'm going to leave this at the end of this video or put it at the beginning of this video, but allow me to make something very clear. This is my channel. And to quote my current favorite super of the 7,